Hi gentlemen, welcome back to my channel Get to Action. Hope you liked my previous video, Engine Performance Monitoring and Trade Analysis Part 1. Today we'll discuss about Part 2 of this topic, which will cover calculations, fault findings and troubleshooting of engine condition by draw cards, interpretations. Those who are new to this video, I request them to watch part 1 of this topic for better understandings. If you like this video, please do click like button, write in comment and subscribe to my channel. Calculation of the indicated and effective engine power. For the purpose of calculating the indicated and effective engine power, the following steps are required. Calculate the mean indicated pressure PI, the mean effective pressure PE, the cylinder constant K2, the indicated engine power PI, the effective engine power PE. The mean indicated pressure PI, the formula for that is PI is equal to A upon L into CS, where A is area of the indicator diagram, is plotted by the planimeter, that is in mm square. L is the length of the indicator diagram, is equal to atmospheric line in mm. CS is the spring constant, that is vertical moment of the indicator stylus for 1 bar pressure rise in cylinder in mm. PI normally correspond to the height of a rectangle with the same area and length as the indicator diagram. For example, when PI is acting on top of the piston during a complete downward stroke, the cylinder will produce the same amount of work as actually produced in one complete revolution. Mean effective pressure PE. PE is equal to PI minus K1, where K1 is the mean friction losses. By experience, K1 has been found to be approximate 1 bar. The cylinder constant K2. K2 is determined by the dimension of the engine and the unit in which the power is wanted, normally given by the maker. For power in kilowatt, K2 is equal to 130900 into D square into S. For power in bhp, K2 is equal to 177968 into D square into S, where D is the cylinder diameter in meters and S is the piston stroke in meter. The indicated engine power PI. PI is equal to K2 into N into PI, that is in kilowatt or HP, where N is the engine speed in RPM. The effective engine power PE. PE is equal to K2 into N into PE, kilowatt or bhp, where N is the engine speed in RPM. The shaft power is up to 1% less than the effective engine power, depending on speed and load conditions and plant type. It can be either a fixed pitch propeller or CPP. This is due to the friction in thrust bearing. For the reliable evaluation, some measured performance parameters need to be corrected to ISO ambient condition. These parameters are maximum pressure, exhaust temperature after work, compression pressure, and scavenge pressure. Making such corrections enable us for comparison to earlier readings or model curves, regardless of deviation of the actual air inlet temperature and cooling inlet temperature from reference conditions. That is, the correction provides the values which would have been measured if the air inlet temperature and the cooling water inlet temperature had been 25 degrees Celsius. The air inlet temperature is equal to 25 degrees centigrade. The air inlet temperature can vary greatly depending on the position in which it is measured on the intake of filter. T-cool in is the cooling water inlet temperature to air cooler at 25 degrees Celsius. Corrections of performance parameters. The correction for deviation of air inlet temperature and cooling water inlet temperature from reference conditions can be done by reading the plates by maker. There is an example here. You will have a template like this or a plate like this by the maker, or by calculation. The corrections can be determined by the general equation, that is, A corrected is equal to temperature measured minus reference temperature into F into K plus A measured, where A corrected is the correction to be applied to the parameter, that is, to maximum pressure, exhaust temperature after the valve, compression pressure, or scavenge air pressure. Temperature measured is measured air inlet temperature or cooling water inlet temperatures. Temperature reference TINL or T cooling in case of standard condition is 25 degrees Celsius. F1, F2 is a constant explained in the table below. This is F1 for air inlet temperature and F2 for cooling water inlet temperature. K is a constant explained to the table below. This K, 273 degree for the temperature and 1 bar for the other things. A measured, the measured parameter to be corrected, that is maximum pressure, exhaust temperature of the valve, compression pressure, or scavenge pressure. So parameter to be corrected, these are the parameters which require to be corrected, and this is the values given here for the air inlet temperature and cooling water inlet temperature, and this K is the constant. Example of calculation. Let's do one calculation for correction. So we are correcting the exhaust gas temperature after the valve. So correction of exhaust temperature valve. So let's see. Measured exhaust temperature after valve is 425 degrees Celsius and air inlet temperature is 42 degrees centigrade. Cooling water inlet temperature, air cooler, is 40 degrees Celsius. Correction for air inlet temperature, that is 42 minus 25, this is the reference temperature, into this value is taken from the F1 minus 2.466 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 273 plus 425, that comes to minus 29.3 degrees Celsius. Same way, correction for the cooling water inlet temperature. This is the temperature and this is reference temperature, minus 0.59 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 273 plus 425, that will give you minus 6.2 degrees Celsius. So now the corrected exhaust temperature of the valve will become 425 minus 29.3 minus 6.2, and this is the value. Corrected temperature after the exhaust valve is 389.5 degrees Celsius. Correction of P scavenge. Same way, the measured scavenger pressure, say let's see it is 2 bar and air inlet temperature is 42 degrees Celsius. Cooling water inlet temperature to air cooler is 40 degrees Celsius. Same way the correction is done here. Correction for the air inlet temperature. This is the reference temperature and this is the temperature available, measured temperature. This value is taken from the table into 10 raised to minus 3 into 1 plus 2.0, that will come to 0.146 bar. And correction for cooling water inlet temperature, same way 40 minus 25 into minus 2.220, which is taken from the table, into 10 raised to minus 3 into 1, also taken as a K from the table, plus 2 is the measured scavenger pressure, that will give you the minus 0.10 bar. Now corrected scavenge pressure value will be 2.0 plus 0.146 minus 0.10, that will become to 2.046 bar. Same way the correction for compressor pressure and maximum pressure can be made in similar manner. Let's talk about the draw cord. This is a normal draw cord where maximum firing pressure is to optimum and the compression pressure is also to the optimum. So this is the standard reference lines for this draw cord for maximum firing pressure and compression pressure, and this is the curve for the PCOM and the Pmax. Let's see if there is some fault in the draw cord, what it interprets. So let's see the first card, draw cord interpretation. Here it is advanced ignition. So you can see here the PCOM is normal here, but the Pmax is very high. It is going above the normal. You can see it here. So what can be causes of this type of indicator card is injection timing early injection or incorrect VIT. Now second card, here it is retarded ignition. You can see on the card here the PCOM is normal, but Pmax is lower than the normal value. And the causes can be poor fuel quality, FQS setting, fuel pump suction valve defective, faulty pump or injection timing, faulty injector, low fuel pressure. Another card. By this card you can check the cylinder mechanical condition. So this is an example of one poor cylinder mechanical condition. So you will have a card like this for this. In that compression pressure is also low, Pmax is also low. You can see here the compression pressure is below the normal line and also the Pmax is below the normal line. The causes can be leaky exhaust valve, too low scavenge air pressure, burnt piston crown, blow-by, liner or cylinder head crack, scavenge port fault. these all causes can lead to poor cylinder mechanical condition, and you will have a draw card like this. Let's see, overloaded. This is example of a overloaded condition where the PCOM is high, Pmax is also high. So you can see the PCOM curve had gone above the normal line, and same way the Pmax curve has gone above the line. This is one typical cylinder pressure diagram. You can see this is a normal diagram without any fault here, and it is standard diagram. I mean, here you can see crank angle in degrees. This is the curve. This is the scavenger pressure. So air pressure rises. Time of injection, and this is the PCOM. Compression pressure, maximum compression pressure, and when ignition takes place, this is the ignition here. Pressure rises and Pmax. This is it's maintaining 35 bar differential, and this is expansion. So there is no fault in this diagram. This is the standard diagram, and this is the ignition delay period. Now let's see if there is a fault in a cylinder. This is cylinder pressure diagram, effects of defective piston rings, one liner, burnt piston crowns. So if this condition exists, you will have a diagram like this, which is represented in the red line. The black one is the standard normal. So you will have a low PMI, low PCOM, low Pmax, low expansion pressure. Same way, this is typical fuel pressure diagram where there is no problem and everything is normal. So this is the fuel oil pressure. Pump spill closes, and the pressure pump spill closes here. The pressure rises. So this is injection pressure, and fuel valve opens. When fuel valves open, this is what is pressure rise. So injection pressure here, and here again the pump spill open and sharp drop here. Fuel valve closes at this point, and you can have a pressure waves at the reflectors in damping manner. This is injection period. There is no fault in this. So let's see next diagram. Fuel pressure diagram, effects of worn fuel pump. So you can see here this black one is the normal condition where there is no problem with the fuel pumps. But if it is worn, the plunger and barrels are worn, you will have a diagram like this represented in red line. So effect of that it will be low rate of rise, low injection pressure, late opening of injectors, you can see here, and reduced duration of injection. And the way it is, the pressure waves are dampened. See? Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. And I will continue trend analysis in my next video. Have a good day.